welcome to Jackalope Tales, Urban Legends in Music, where we uncover, is it real or is it a jackalope? I'm your host, Charles Mooney.
And I'm Lisa Umbarger. And Charles and I were original members of the Toadies, and now we're podcasting.
Yeah, we're diddying it up.
Gonna total diddy it today. Well, not quite diddy it.
No, we're just going to kind of spice it up with a little ditty.
Right.
but
Back to here it goes.
Yeah.
No, we would be remiss if we didn't address the Diddy story that's unfolding right now.
As we speak.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's God, there's so many jackalopes there. And there's some that I've been told by people in the music industry, some that are very old that existed when I was at Interscope and Tupac got offed.
Yeah.
I don't know how we can say it.
Yeah.
When everything happened to Tupac and Diddy's name was associated with it then, and that was a long time ago.
It was long, yeah.
So he's been right there in the shadows for a long time, and now everything is starting to come to light. And we're going to address that soon.
Yeah, we like living, so we're not gonna speculate.
Yeah, there's some stuff I'm not gonna say because I don't feel like I can.
No, not at this point.
But we will talk about some other stuff. But today we're going to talk about one of Diddy's heroes.
Yeah, yes.
And
so
actually
true.
he spent a little bit of time molding his life after this guy.
Yeah, yeah. And we found enough information on this guy to just do an episode about him.
Right.
Oh.
And today we're going to do the Godfather of Soul, James Brown.
Yep. So we're titling this episode, What Can Brown Do to You?
A lot. A lot.
I mean, he is known as the hardest working man in show business. I mean, he had the Godfather of funk, soul.
Right.
I mean, I see so many comments where funk would have never happened if it hadn't been for James Brown.
Right.
And I really didn't get into him very much, but I started listening to some of his stuff after rap was using so many of James Brown's samples in their music. I tried it. I mean, it was okay, but
my parents loved him.
Yeah.
They had all of his records and they would play them. I did not like them.
Yeah.
It felt like mumble rock to me. So I couldn't understand what he was saying. And
to me, it was very repetitious.
Right. And
yeah,
I think the way I explained it to my parents, because I was trying to remember what I used to tell them. And I told them, this is a little too jazzy for me.
And they're like, shut up and vacuum. Because it was a Saturday cleaning music.
Saturday cleaning music. And I was like, I don't like it. And but I think that they saw him live a few times even. They really liked James Brown. Yes, they love James Brown.
And that's true, because they said his live show was just nuts.
Yeah, they like those artists that would like move all around and get sweaty and like really put their whole their whole self into it. And I was like, he's doing too much.
This is too jazzy.
Where's the Carpenters? Can we hear that?
Right. Oh, but yeah, I mean, it sounds like even starting off for his life when he was born, things were crazy.
This is the most nutty story. And my guess is there's probably some truth there, mostly not. But he was born under a cloak of invincibility.
Yeah.
So the story is he was stillborn.
Yeah.
And everyone thought that the baby was dead. And his grandma took him into her hands and breathed into his face. And he started breathing and came to life.
Wow.
And my guess is probably he wasn't breathing. There was a little bit of CPR.
Maybe.
clear out the
yeah.
or hang the baby upside down and spank them, whatever they do.
Right. That's all it took. But then
my life probably started with the
or
spanking.
maybe it was that grandmother's breath.
I know. It was like, she's drinking moonshine. I'm awake.
Yeah,
I'm awake.
yeah, no kidding. That was some high proof.
Right.
Oh, but
so his whole family had this belief and told him and shared the belief with him that he was invincible.
wow.
So he kind of started off his life that way.
Yeah, because he didn't seem to give a damn about anything.
Nothing.
I mean, the more you read about him, he's a dick.
Well,
I mean, he's an asshole.
Right. He is a jerk. But think about this. When he was 6, his mom dropped him off at his Aunt Honey's house.
Yeah.
And who knows if that's really his Aunt Honey.
Right.
She was a moonshiner and ran a brothel.
Yeah.
So what the hell?
That's great. She dropped him off there.
Right,
It's like,
yeah.
Where would be a safe place to go?
I don't know.
Because I guess the fire departments didn't take kids.
Hide him with
back
the
then.
moonshiners. So
your aunt needs some help mixing the moonshine.
Oh man! But can you imagine as a 6-year-old kid what you would see? And this is Georgia.
Oh,
and this is before, before equal rights. Before,
so there was segregation. There was just
it was a hard time to live in Georgia.
Yeah,
for anyone, much less a person of color.
Because he was born in like 1933. Don't hold me to that year, but it was around then. So you're talking about early days,
right?
So
yeah, this is still plantation rules.
No air conditioning. I mean,
my God.
It's like in Georgia. Oh,
yeah.
God.
There's still hoping that slavery is going to come back and no air conditioning.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Both of those things together.
Yeah.
And he's living with Aunt Honey, the moonshiner.
Who runs a brothel.
Madam.
Yeah.
I mean, so his life didn't start off cuddly and soft and
it made him hard. Yeah.
Right.
Well, hard life.
It might have, and that might be part of the problem.
Depending on, even when he was 15, that was when he was arrested for the first time. At 15, it's like, good God. But he was trying to steal parked cars. And see, it's that upbringing.
Who wasn't when they were 15? I mean, come on.
I know. When you're 15, you just happen to walk along and try doors to see if they're ready to be
Take
opened.
It for a little joyride.
Yeah. And he did receive an 8 to 16 year sentence.
16.
Yeah. I mean, at 15 years old. So there was no easy going because you're 15 back then. But in fact, while he was in jail, he would perform. I mean, he started singing and doing all this stuff, and they even called him, his jail name was Music Box. And but the warden and the parole board were so impressed with his good attitude and his musical style and performance that they released him only after 3 years.
Thank God, because if he had to serve even the lower end of that, the 8-year sentence, that would have been crazy.
Oh yeah, because I mean, luckily, he got out at 18. So,
God, that's still hardcore. Man.
I know.
Can you imagine?
And I mean, just hearing some of the stories that. Oh God, one of my favorite was about his feud with the other R&B singer Joe Tex.
Okay, this one is pretty famous
because this is very early on in James Brown's career and Joe Tex's career because he was an R&B singer also.
I kind of think that it sets the scene for the rest of James Brown's career and actually kind of kills Joe Texas career.
Yeah, and it enforces this invincibility.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nuts. But do you want to start talking about that one?
Go ahead.
But I mean, they were basically they were on the same record label.
Yep.
And they kind of had this public feud. I mean, people knew that they didn't get along. And it wasn't like a friendly rivalry. They really didn't seem to like each other.
Everyone freaking knew.
Yeah. They competed on stage time, record sales, because I guess when they were on the same label, they might be on tour together.
My guess is yes.
I'm betting so. And it's like they had this professional feud about where they're charting and things like that. But then it started getting personal because they both made they recorded the exact same song separately. Baby, You're Right. James Brown allegedly stole Tex's ex-wife.
Yeah, that one is, I mean, yeah.
Now
James kind of pushed the.
Yeah. Now what's kind of cool is that who knows, maybe is this the first time it happened, but Tex released a diss record to referencing James, literally calling him out in the song, and the song was called You Keeper.
Are you suffering from high-quality podcasts? You see, quality podcasts stimulate parts of your brain, leading to an irksome condition called thinking. But suffer no more, my friend. Introducing Discount Storytime's blend of fictional nonsense and rancid gibberish to provide soothing relief. Try Discount Storytime today. Available on most podcast catchers and at discountstorytime.com.
Consult your healthcare provider before listening to Discount Storytime. Not intended to treat unicyclitis, pickleball liver, or jittering expectations.
That's so
which is
awesome.
great.
Right.
So was that the first diss song? I mean, they're so common
it's gotta
nowadays.
be freaking close to,
yeah, but boy, they really were wanting to vocalize. But I think the issues between the two of them like peaked. It was at Club 15 in Georgia in 1963 because during the show, Tex made fun of Brown's signature cape.
Yeah.
Because I get, when James Brown would get low and then his guy would come out and put the cape on him and it'd raise him up.
Yeah.
And, Tex had someone bring out a piece of torn clothing and put it on him. And then he proceeded to get tangled up in it. And of course, James Brown, being the gentleman he is, he responded by getting 2 shotguns and open firing on his rival. And you're using shotguns while there's a crowd.
Yeah.
And
James had an affinity for shotguns. He used them throughout his life. They show up. He's like, pew, pew, pew.
It's like he always had one.
and shotguns are so like, it's better than gangsta. Right?
It's Scarface. I mean, you're just taking anything out and you're not giving a damn who gets hit with
and
pellets.
It's very Georgia gangsta.
Oh, it is. You're right.
Like, I don't have a gat. I have this giant freaking thing that I shoot deer with.
Right. It just spreading the pellets.
Right.
But he ended up hitting 7 other people while he was trying to shoot Tex. And now the funny thing is James Brown made a getaway, and then his entourage is handing $100 bills to the 7 people that were injured to keep them quiet. And he never even got arrested or prosecuted for that.
Okay. If you were shot, how much is it going to take for you to just be okay with it? So just say like, I don't know, who is it? Madison shows up, the guitar player for, the drummer for Soul Shifter.
Yeah.
He starts like, pew, 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 pew.
Uh-huh.
And Jennifer, his wife's like, I'm going to write you a little check. What's it going to take?
I know it depends on the injury, but yeah, I mean, $20 is $20.
Man,
it depends. Yeah, I mean, because gosh, now with lawsuits and everything,
say you lost a testicle.
Oh man, that's at least $100.
Yeah, see? Okay. So, but it's $100 and
Yeah.
$100 back then?
I know. That's
What
what you
is that,
got to
like-
think about.
That's like what, $50,000?
I'm
He's
gonna
like
buy.
walking out, giving him $50,000.
I can buy my dream home with this $100 bill. But I know. So they handed out enough hundreds to keep them quiet. But to have
Shit.
hundreds back then, 1960, what?
Where is
3?
he? Okay, where's his entourage getting this money?
Oh,
Did they take Aunt Honey's business over?
oh, maybe.
I mean,
maybe.
for real.
Yeah, that's a good
I mean, because
point.
not very many people have hundreds to spare.
No, not
Yeah.
even nowadays.
Because it was what, 63?
Yeah, 1963. So I don't know
Okay.
where that came from.
And there's
but
not a whole lot of opportunities in Georgia for a person of color.
no,
guessing.
no, back then definitely not.
Okay.
So $100 was
That's a lot of money.
but it's
And
insane.
at least $700 was
Not even arrested.
like
I
making
know.
it rain.
I know, right?
Okay.
And shotguns. Oh, but-
so he could hide it under his cape.
Yeah, he had that one where it has that hidden pocket
Right.
in the back. But God, I mean, all the different things. He was never caring or loving to his women or his wives.
Yeah, he has a whole list of domestic violence.
Oh God, yeah.
And abuse. There's his daughter wrote a book about
Oh,
his abuse,
yeah.
and they said that they never were abused as children, but their mom was,
Damn.
and they have PTSD and effects from hearing him abuse her.
Oh, it was probably
But it
like
was-
a
it
war
was-
zone.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Well, I mean, because there had been alleged reports that he hit one of his ex-wives, Tammy Terrell, with a hammer.
God dang, man.
And then there was the one where he was married to Adrienne Louise Brown.
Yep.
And it's one of those where they spoke with the sheriff because the sheriff said that he always had to go to their house for domestic abuse or domestic calls.
And so they just let that slide back in the day.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was like, he's just getting his woman in.
Yeah. And then it's like they'd get there and the poor lady just, I guess, wouldn't want to press charges. She's probably afraid of him.
Yeah.
And which is,
Well, and where's she going to go? She's got kids. And
yeah.
back then,
Yeah.
didn't have a whole lot of options.
Oh, yeah. And the sheriff even said there was one really bizarre event where James Brown had shot her mink coat full of bullet holes
Yeah. What the hell?
and then proceeded to shoot up her entire closet.
Right. Where there's shotgun. Again, the shotgun
The
shows
shotgun
up.
comes back.
And is this one of the PCP
Yeah.
adult things? Because there's two things that pop up with James
Mhm.
Brown that you see. There's these threads that run through.
Yeah.
Shotguns and PCP.
And PCP.
I mean,
what a combo.
I mean, when I think of James Brown, I think of those two things.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
besides the cape and whatnot. Too,
Oh.
but
And we're
those
not
things-
talking marijuana. We're talking
No,
PCP.
man.
Oh, and there was the one wife that he had where it's like they were known as a couple for being totally addicted to PCP.
Is that the one that put the PCP in his cream corn?
Yes.
What
She
the
was
hell
she was a
this?
hairdresser on Solid Gold. You remember
Yes.
Solid Gold?
Yes.
Oh my God, the Solid Gold dancers
Right.
and all that stuff. But they would have guests on to perform, and James Brown was on one time and met her that way. And yeah, they ended up hooking up, and they both loved PCP.
And cream corn. What the hell?
Yeah, coffee ice cream. I think she put it in too. And then that lady is also famous for stabbing James Brown's mistress in the butt.
Yes.
I mean, it's
And
like
that was just okay. No one should be stabbed, and we're not laughing that someone got stabbed. We're
no, just getting stabbed in the
but get
butt.
stabbed in the butt, and it was it was funny back then, and people made fun of it. I feel sorry for the lady who got stabbed.
Yeah.
Because when you get stabbed in the butt,
oh God,
everyone's gonna giggle. I mean,
it's one of those injuries that's like you're trying to be sad, but you're laughing.
Right.
At the
You're
same
going,
time.
I'm sorry about your butt cheek, but
and then she has that walk.
right. And I'm glad it wasn't like an internal organ.
Oh God. I mean, I guess that's the safest place to stab someone without dying, I guess.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that. We should not have those dark thoughts. Like, where am I going to stab someone today? It's got to be the butt.
I know, the old reach around. But
oh God.
But I mean, just all these different things about him, just and the way that there was that one too where he showed up at that insurance seminar.
What the hell with that? Was that 1988?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, who's going to be at insurance seminars?
Right.
Old people.
Right. Old people. And he shows up all full of PCP and a shotgun.
And he doesn't have any interest in insurance. He's not affiliated with anyone. He's not even supposed to be there.
And these poor people are having to listen to him rant that strangers are using his toilet. And that's why he's mad. He's talking to these people about strangers using his toilet.
Yeah, and they're probably just there for a free meal, a free giveaway, right. and having to hear about insurance. And this guy walks in and clears the room out. And
so I have a theory.
Oh,
I think the insurance company, whoever the insurance company was that was putting on the seminar, hired James to do this so they could sell life insurance, scare old people. And if you scare people enough, I mean, think about it.
Well,
you have people there to sell life insurance. I don't know if it was life insurance, by the way.
Well, it's insurance.
And then, and by the way, some, good hands people, you can steal this idea. It's a great idea. Have a masked person come in, scare the hell out of everybody. Strangers using my toilet, and this is my shotgun. Yeah. And then after he leaves, or the cops chase him, because there was
they did. There was a police chase.
Yeah. You say on their way out, you go, "You guys want life insurance?" And they go, "Absolutely."
Now you can see the reason for life insurance.
Like what would have happened if your poor wife and kids?
Yeah, because PCP's everywhere.
Everywhere. It's in your cream corn. I mean, you're gonna go down to Fur's cafeteria, and that could happen.
Oh, it's gonna be in the fried fish.
Oh my God! Don't do it. Whitefish, baked whitefish.
Oh yeah, PCP. But that one was insane because supposedly the police chased him through South Carolina and back into Georgia, and supposedly they shot out his tires.
It kept going
to stop. I know.
What the hell?
It's like those great chases that you see on the ID or some of those channels.
Okay, and he was in a pickup truck. Too, which is so insane. Can you imagine like crazy haired James Brown driving in a pickup truck going, "You're not gonna catch me, copper." And he's like, "And them strangers are using my toilet." And I imagine that him in a bathrobe.
Oh my God, that does make sense.
Right?
Yeah.
He's not even fully dressed. He's in boxer shorts and a bathrobe with a shotgun sitting in the bench seat of the truck, and his hair's all crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way it's in my head.
Now, see, and even according to Brown, he claimed that when he finally stopped, he was in the process of surrendering to an African-American officer, and then white cops showed up and busted out the windows of his pickup. So he started running.
On foot?
Yes. So that's when he fled on foot. They began to open fire on him. And and that is actually the class right after the classic, or before the classic mugshot, where it looks like he's been
where his hair's
around.
Weird. He's got stuff in his hair. Well, I would look funny too, probably, if a cop rolled me in a ditch and I got my bathrobe all around me.
He did look like he was wearing a bathrobe. that photo.
I think that's where I got that because
Probably
this
had no
picture-
pants on,
Right.
and it's just the bathrobe. He's probably got a bar of soap
or
in
maybe
his
he's got some
pocket.
of those crazy slippers.
Oh my God, the ones that are flopping as he. And they, of course, you can't get away because they hear you,
I know.
and it's going flop, flop, flop as you're
The way
running.
he's getting away is like doing some of those crazy dance moves, like jumping up. Woo!
Yep, jigging to the left
Yeah.
or right. Oh, but just that photo, you can tell he's been
He
through
was having
hell.
a hard day, whether he's on PCP or not, which the story goes he was.
Yeah.
Although a lot of people speculate that he was not. In fact, there's a whole book written about that day that James didn't do anything, that
What?
it was racist
Oh.
Georgia and white cops that started the whole thing, and it was a
Yeah.
made up story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, from that, he was sentenced to 6 years and 6 months in
Right.
jail. So
That's a long freaking time.
You're not kidding. I mean, well,
'Cause
I
he's
guess
old.
yeah, and if you, I mean, I guess if you go and shoot an insurance place and then run from the cops, I mean,
Okay, that was 88. When was Living in America Rocky thing?
oh,
That was 86, right? That was in
that
the
could
80s.
be. Yeah,
I think that
you're
was
right.
in the 80s. It was around, it was, I
So
think
they
it was before.
they put him on a release program so he could go record Living in America.
Well, I think that Living in America happened before.
It should have been jailed in America and then living, but oh God. And see, look at that. He can just bounce right back from shooting up an insurance place on PCP, and he's on a movie.
Right, Living in America.
Yeah.
So to me, James Brown has done all these things, and for some reason, I think it not just James Brown, but everyone back then, cancel culture did not exist because
right.
the things he did made it into the news.
Yeah.
It wasn't hidden.
Mhm.
And you know, there's other people like that too that did bad things. Johnny Cash,
That's true. It
Merle
kinda-
Haggard.
Yes.
So I don't want to just mention people of color,
No,
there's-
it was.
but they were forgiven.
Yeah. And I think that was just more prevalent back then.
But James did a bunch of stuff. Like
I know.
he like had a whole lifetime of, I want some more whatever in my cream corn. And
every time I eat that cream corn, I want to go shoot up
Now
an
it-
insurance
right
place.
now, every
Yeah.
time I eat cream corn, I'm going to think I'm missing something. This just doesn't. This isn't hitting right.
Yeah. I mean, I loved cream corn, but it never hit me like that.
Right.
Oh,
And I don't even know if I don't think I've had PCP
no. Yeah. I haven't.
because I don't. I mean, just the fact that I don't know if I've had it means I probably have not.
You did?
I have had cream
tour with
corn.
the surfers.
Right. No, we did not have it.
Okay. Okay.
But we did not have cream corn on that tour either. So I'm guessing maybe
Thank God.
I lucked out. Now
You
I think
made it
that's
out.
the only way that is that the delivery system? Because you know,
Yeah.
some things you smoke, some things you inject,
Yeah.
and PCP you eat in cream corn.
It's like a salt and pepper replacement.
Right.
Maybe it brings out that extra flavor.
Whoa. I'm thinking it tastes bad.
But in fact, it's interesting because I was reading too, where there was a lot of mixed opinion from the African American community about James Brown, because they were saying that James Brown always seemed to side with whatever color worked better for him.
Oh, really?
Because I remember reading some stuff where it was like, yes, he comes out with a song saying, I'm black and I'm proud.
right.
And then he's becoming real good friends with Richard Nixon because he was hoping to get out of tax issues.
Oh,
And so there was that conflict where it was like he'd say this one thing about the African American community, really support them, but then some of his actions just seemed to be selfish.
Right.
So
there was that one action though where the day after Martin Luther King was assassinated. He was playing Boston Garden, and the city was just getting ready for huge protests and looting and all sorts of horrible things happening because people were so wound up. I mean, everyone was angry and scared, and he had his concert televised to try and distract people so they wouldn't go out in the street.
Oh, wow.
To riot. And also from the stage, people came up on stage and started getting wound up. And he diffused the situation in a very nice way. And the mayor and the police department actually gave him great accolades for actually helping diffuse a really, really horrible situation.
The
day after the
nuts.
MLK assassination.
Yeah. Wow.
Now, could that be pandering to the white folks?
It's hard to say.
Maybe, but
to
me, I think
it made him look like a guy that could fix anything.
Yeah, to me, I think that was probably a good thing because I think a lot of people could have gotten hurt.
Yeah,
and what he said some actually really nice things where he was like, think about what you're doing. How do you want to resolve this? Is this the way that you want to do this? And Martin Luther King would not be rioting.
Wow. Well, kudos to that.
Yeah. So I think that's it, in all this history of shitty things that he did.
Yeah.
He at least did one good thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people would argue his music was amazing and his live shows were amazing. He was gifted.
Genius. He can hear every freaking note that everyone was playing.
Oh.
I mean, you've heard the way he treated his band.
Oh,
right?
Yes. We're about to get into that.
Yeah. So let's get into that right now.
Ooh. I mean, you talk about a dick to his band.
I would not want to be in his band.
Oh, God. I mean, the strictness, we thought it was bad in the Toadies and we couldn't dance.
Right.
This is a whole nother level. But he was, I mean, I think it showed by his presence on stage. He was meticulous. He was rigid. He was structured. He wanted everything to go just perfect.
Yep.
From his cape being ironed and clean, the outfits, and then he expected that same level from his band.
Right.
And there was a lot of people in his band too.
A lot. With the horn section.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, the saxophonist who was named Pee Wee Ellis, he's come out and said a few things about it. He said that James Brown kept people intimidated with stupid stuff. He had dress code fines. Shoes had to be shined a certain way. Even rules on how to carry your uniforms. And
that's so insane.
And then you would have James Brown fine his singers or bands if their outfits were wrinkled, or if they missed a note or messed up on just something during the show. He would turn around to them and do like a 5-finger little flip.
Yep.
And that would mean you're getting $5 deducted. Sometimes if he did enough of those, then you weren't even getting paid for the show.
Yeah. And they said, I've heard interviews with the band that said that he could hear and distinguish every single musician note.
Holy hell.
He was such a perfectionist and could hear everything. And he knew what you couldn't hide it if you hit a sour note on the trumpet or whatever. Even with everything going on, he still knew if there was something went wrong.
And when you listen to his music too, I mean, you got to be tight as fuck.
Yeah.
Because his music had so many stops, so many just quick little note hits that
Miles Davis influence.
Yes. Oh, so that style of music, I mean, in order to pull it off, you got to be tight.
Yep.
But damn, it's like he took it to a whole nother level.
Right.
But, and then they talked about how he was close friends with Elvis.
Yeah. Which to me, he's like the Black Elvis almost with the showmanship and, I always kind of put him in that category.
And they were very good friends, but they also they kind of challenged each other, and
I could see that.
They brought each other to a whole new level. And I remember reading where Brown felt that Elvis was the only man worth his competition. So they were very close. Wow. And then I know when Elvis passed away that James Brown was able to arrange a private viewing.
See, that's creepy. So fucking creepy.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird with the death thing, but then we're going to get into an interesting one when James Brown passed.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people speculate that James Brown did not die of natural causes.
Yeah.
That he was murdered. In fact, a lot of family members have speculated that he's murdered. And CNN had a huge story where they investigated. There was this circus performer who had all this evidence that some of it's very intriguing.
Was it the juggler?
No, she was an acrobat, actually.
Wow.
But she had a whole little tote full of evidence, quote unquote, evidence that it opened up an inquiry into, was James Brown really murdered?
Damn.
Or did he die of natural causes?
Because I think, it came out as natural causes, didn't it? I think it was like a heart issue or something.
Right.
I mean, probably all that PCP.
Right. He was in the hospital for a long time before he passed. And the doctor, this is the one that was intriguing to me. The doctor who was his primary care physician in the hospital said that they were going to release him the next day. He was doing pretty good.
Oh, okay.
And then he took a nosedive, a turn for the worse, like really suddenly.
Oh.
And the juggler, she's not the juggler, the actor, the circus performer girl, her name is Jacqueline, said that there are at least 9 people around James Brown who were poisoned.
What?
And she believed it was poisoning. And there was enough evidence that the CNN investigative reporter thought that it could be poison.
There was some plausibility to it. Damn, but it never got out.
I don't think I don't think it went any further because James Brown's body was moved a lot of after he died is when the crazy shenanigans started.
Oh no. And he died on Christmas Day in 2006. Yeah, 2006. And it was all about the will.
Yeah.
Because he had so many ex-wives, so many kids, and then he's married and has a kid when he passes.
Right.
So you got all these freaking hands.
Yeah, people are wanting money. The body is moved.
What was
it?
A
lot.
Yeah, like 14 times, something
14,
like that.
16 times, something like that. His wake, they had several different wakes.
Oh, God. Yeah. It's like the families don't want to get together for one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then after he's embalmed, there's a paternity issue.
Oh, yeah, because they wanted to know if the son, the son with his wife that he was married to when he died, is it the real
James Brown Jr.?
Yeah. Is it the real son? Is it his son?
Right. So here's where it's creepy. They cut off James Brown's legs because they had to get to the bone marrow.
I don't know why they couldn't just
do the DNA testing.
Else, but
I think because of the embalming.
I don't know. Maybe with the legs, it didn't.
Why couldn't they do a finger? Why do they?
I know.
So one of his relatives was saddened by this and really upset because she said that James Brown was one of the best dancers ever.
Yeah.
And then he has to go into eternity with no legs.
I know.
Quit laughing. You're going to hell.
I'm just imagining him up in heaven or wherever he is without
like
his
on
bottom
legs.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Or his legs show up later with wings of their own. So here's
but so there might just be one with wings,
right? Because there's just one with wings. Because guess what? One of the freaking legs is missing. They cannot find. So they cut off both of the legs. They did the paternity test.
Yeah.
And now a leg is missing. So there's parts of James Brown just wandering the earth.
And I mean, it's already embalmed.
Right.
So I guess someone could put it on display or.
Well, yeah. Like, what do you put? Like a shoe, put an Oxford on it and a pant leg.
Yeah, I know.
A sock. Maybe just a sock and a shoe.
Yeah, a gold sock.
Yeah. So why does someone want a leg of someone? God. It's like a trophy. Or,
I know.
Maybe it's like a Harvey Weinstein has like all of his Golden Globes and Oscars and all that stuff. And then at the end is a golden James Brown leg. It's got to be someone rich like that.
But see, it makes sense that someone would want the leg because, I mean, his legs were like his...
Right.
What made him famous?
Or some weird person on PCP took it and made some stew.
Oh, God. I mean, and just to have the leg on your mantle, it'd be like, what is
that right there? That one.
What a piece to talk
James
about.
Brown's leg. So weird.
Probably twitches every once in a
while.
You
hear like when you're sleeping.
You find the leg in different parts of the house.
Oh yeah, opposite here. It's like hopping down the hallway. No, I do not want haunting James Brown.
I get rid of it. I know.
God, no.
And it probably just runs through grass. Yeah, because that's what he did all the time. Run away. Oh God!
They find like PCP up on the mantle with the leg. It's been out wilding.
But what's crazy about the whole will thing too is it did finally get solved, but it took 16 years and it has never been released who got what. They've kept it a secret.
Well, he had some financial problems, so there probably wasn't a whole lot after 16 years of fighting.
Maybe.
They were fighting over very little.
But I wonder if he owned his catalog.
Oh.
I mean, because to sell that off, man, that's money right there.
I bet you he owned his catalog.
It seems like he would have been smart enough as a businessman because of how, I mean, that's your art. I mean, that's your work.
I didn't think about that. And rap artists are still using James Brown. So, so all the royalties from that.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know.
Pretty.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. But
you know what James Brown's legs love?
The kazoo.
A lot.
Oh, yes. We all love the kazoo. It does make your legs shimmy.
You know what?
What?
Little tapping.
Yeah.
Toe tapping to kazoo.
It brings it out.
Right.
Brings it out because we use the kazoo to let everyone know it's the Lone Star Salute.
It is. And that's where we read 1-star reviews of anything about music or musicians or performances, anything to do with music.
Yeah.
So this is for you. It's by you, for you.
But of course, form your own opinion. These are just tools, not the answer. But in looking around, it was hard to find a James Brown bad review.
Yeah.
Even with the kind of person he has been through history, people love his music.
The music lived beyond the artist.
Mm-hmm.
And now it seems like that is so much harder to do.
You're right.
Because it was so good that people just like, this guy's an a-hole. Just listen.
Yeah. They could get past that. But, well, my review, it's kind of a review of James Brown himself. It's a real quick one. It's by Keith Richards, guitarist of the Rolling Stones. And he says, so it's his review of James Brown. I had long enough to realize that just because I dig someone's work doesn't mean I have to like them as a person. James Brown can be an asshole. If you want to know, he is an asshole, but you expect it from him. He pumps himself up to be the baddest and the meanest. So hates him as a person.
So now we know where his leg is. Keith Richards has
it.
Keith Richards totally has that fucking leg. You know he does.
And you know he probably hits Mick with it. Just as kind of his little game.
And it's probably why Keith Richards is still alive. It's like,
oh my God, he drinks the embalming juice.
Yes, something.
It makes him
or
dance.
some kind of lucky, like instead of a rabbit's foot, it's like the James Brown foot.
Yeah, because he did love James Brown. But,
off on a good foot.
But that brings up an interesting note too, because it's kind of my approach now. Is like, I like people for their music. It doesn't mean I want to meet them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, no, you just let me listen to your music. I really don't want to know if you're a dick or not.
There's plenty of turds out there. I do have a problem where it's the person has changed how I like the music. So and it sucks because there's some music I really love and I'm like, that person's a complete fucking turd.
And
it changes ruins it. Really does change it. So I'd rather not meet
I know ignorance is bliss when it comes to music. What do you have? What?
Ignorance is bliss about P. Diddy right now too. Because I'm going to read a P. Diddy review.
Very timely. Very timely.
This is P. Diddy and Bad Boy Records present We Invented the Remix.
Oh.
And this is by a guy named Dick Sunshine, which, by the way, I hope that's his real name.
I do too.
Because you imagine Dick Sunshine?
Yeah. It's like Richard Sunshine. Just call me Dick.
And his wife, Regina Sunshine.
Oh man!
So
we can
did they really invent the remix? Come on, P. Diddy.
Please.
It's like taking a lot of credit for shit.
I know.
So here's what Dick says. Honestly, what the F is wrong with this guy and the radio pop rap of today? There used to be a time when rap was not synonymous with the likes of Hillary Duff. No longer is that true. If you call this rap, Puff wasn't even good to begin with, and I never owned any of his CDs, but I knew of him. Anyway, by the time I heard that he changed his name to P. Diddy, I about laughed until I pissed myself. That's the whole fucking review. He didn't even talk about the record. He was like, what's up with this P. Diddy?
What's up with the name?
I laughed and then I almost peed myself. The end. Thank you, Dick Sunshine.
I love addiction. Oh God, that name alone.
I know, right?
I mean, I love that review.
I totally do too. It's like, you know what? I'm just gonna get out of here while I can. I'm just gonna say this and then boom, I'm done.
He doesn't even deserve a bunch of words.
Shit. Hillary Duff's on it. Fucking, I'm out.
Yeah.
P. Diddy.
P.
There
Diddy.
I go. I peed myself.
Way to go, Dick. I like you.
Oh man, you know what else is happy? Besides sunshine.
Man, I'm telling you, the happy ending.
Happy ending.
Dick brought us to the happy ending.
Way to go, Dick Sunshine.
I know, it's his ray of sunshine.
Sometimes great stars burn bright.
Mm-hmm.
And so does the myth of being a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to look at what's myth and what's not. The legends that surround these people, Elvis, James Brown, the Rolling Stones, name any one of them. Even the ones that are still alive, like Madonna. Anyone who's a huge superstar, there's going to be all these stories because they're bigger than life.
Oh, yeah.
Already.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the stories around them are bigger than life. Some are true, some are not.
Yeah.
So with James Brown, a lot of these we can prove are true because they're in police records.
Yes.
And in the
they're in
newspaper.
mugshots.
Right.
He has grass in his hair.
Right.
Yeah.
And then some of them are told by family members who, probably blew smoke up his ass about his invincibility and how he was born and all these other things. And his death with the missing limb and all these other things that surround it, having to move his body 16 times.
And when you think you're invincible, the stories get bigger and bigger.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But if you're someone whose body has to be moved around because your family's fighting over it, there's probably some stories being told that are not true.
Right.
And probably some that need to be told that are true that I fucking want to hear.
Oh, we've just scratched the surface.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So everybody, thank you for listening. We really appreciate you. And follow the links and check us out on all the socials.
Definitely like, subscribe, rate, leave us reviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you can get your podcasts, and watch us on YouTube. Subscribe, leave comments, questions. God, let us know what you're thinking about, or if you know a cool Jackalope tale so we can look into it.
Right.
Too.
And share with your friends, and tune in next time as we ask, is it real or is it a jackalope tale?
Yeah, we need to find out more from Dick Sunshine.
I know. I feel like he's got his finger on the pulse of what might be happening.
He's rubbing it right.
His neighbor was like,